Have you ever wondered why the opportunity disappeared? Even after you prayed, why the relationship ended? Even though you begged God to save it, why the door you wanted so badly suddenly closed? What if that wasn't rejection? What if it was divine protection? Because sometimes the greatest blessing in your life begins with God's no. Today, we're going to discover why God closes doors, how to recognize His direction, and why your biggest disappointment could actually be your greatest rescue. Stay until the end, because this message could completely change the way you see your life. Have you noticed? We often judge God by what He allows us to lose. A job ends, a friendship fades, a dream falls apart, and immediately we ask, God, why? But what if you're asking the wrong question? Instead of asking, why did this happen? Ask, what is God protecting me from? The truth is, we can only see today. God sees every tomorrow. We see one chapter. God sees the entire story. That's why His decisions don't always make sense in the moment. Think about Moses. He spent 40 years in the wilderness. 40 years that looked completely wasted. He wasn't leading a nation. He wasn't performing miracles. He was simply taking care of sheep. To everyone else, it looked like failure, but heaven saw preparation. The wilderness wasn't God's punishment. It was God's classroom. There, Moses learned patience, humility, dependence on God, and the quiet strength that would one day lead millions of people. Without the wilderness, there would have been no Exodus. Without the waiting, there would have been no miracle. Maybe you're in your own wilderness today. You think nothing is happening, but heaven may be preparing you for an assignment far bigger than you can imagine. God never wastes hidden seasons. He uses them to build people before He reveals them. Now let me show you something incredible. Think about Peter. Peter wasn't weak because he failed. He was human. The night Jesus needed him most, Peter promised, "Lord, I'll never leave you." But before sunrise, fear took over. 3 times, he denied even knowing Jesus. Can you imagine the guilt, the shame, the disappointment? Peter probably believed, "My purpose is over. I've ruined everything. God could never use someone like me again." Maybe you felt that way too. Maybe you've made mistakes that still haunt you. Maybe you carry regrets no one else knows about. Maybe every time you pray, a voice whispers, "You're not good enough." But here's the beautiful truth. Failure is never the final chapter. When God is writing your story, after Jesus rose from the dead, He didn't come looking for a perfect disciple. He came looking for Peter, not to condemn him, not to embarrass him, but to restore him, because that's who God is. He doesn't define you by your worst moment. He defines you by His purpose for your life. The world says, "You failed, so you're finished." God says, "You fell, now let me lift you." That's the difference between guilt and grace. Guilt keeps you trapped in yesterday. Grace gives you the courage to walk into tomorrow. Maybe that's why you're hearing this message today, not by accident, but by divine appointment. God wants you to stop replaying the moments that broke you and start believing the promises that can rebuild you. Listen carefully. Your past may explain you, but it does not define you. The enemy wants you focused on what you lost. God wants you focused on what's still possible. Every sunrise is another reminder that God hasn't given up on you. Every breath is proof that your assignment isn't finished. Every new day is another invitation to trust Him again. You don't need to know every step ahead. You only need enough faith to take the next one. One step of obedience can change the direction of your entire life. So today, release the fear, release the regret, release the need to understand everything, and place it into God's hands, because the same God who restored Peter can restore your peace, your hope, your purpose, and your future. You may not see what He's doing today, but one day you'll look back and realize every closed door, every delay, every painful season was leading you exactly where He wanted you to be. So don't quit. Don't stop praying. Don't stop believing. Your story is still being written. And the author never abandons his masterpiece. If this message encouraged you, type "God is not finished with me" in the comments. And if you want more faith-filled messages that strengthen your walk with God, subscribe now, because your next message could be exactly what God uses to strengthen your faith. God bless you.